There's nothing you can call that but a terrible incident that will bother a lot of people for years to come, including me. Let me give you some background. The police were there looking for a murderer who had killed another young person 2 weeks before his high school graduation. Those kinds of raids go on in every big city in this country 3 or 4 times a day in each city. It's only rarely, thank God, that it blows up into something that occurred like this, which we all know, I think, was an accidental shooting, but nonetheless, I mean, when you're dead, you're dead. And this was a young child that died, and I'm not trying to take anything away from that at all. I wasn't there, wasn't a part of the raid. Chiefs aren't, and nobody calls to say, Chief, we're going to have a raid such and such a place. That's such a common practice in a police department. They occur. The officers there followed the policies and procedures of the police department at the time. When I reviewed it, the first thing I did was say, you guys are never going to use those flashbangs in that kind of situation again. To me, that was a procedural problem that we had to try to fix. And added to that, people confuse the fact that that was photographed with the pilot program. First of all, let me say the pilot program is something that the mayor knew about and had approved all along. So that story about, you know, I was some independent contractor out there is just a period. So let's get past that. That was not, those were not the people that filmed this. These were the people from A&E with that show 48 Hours, which the city of Detroit has contracted to do for years. I mean, way before me. 48 Hours in Detroit had been there. Now, why they decided to go out that day and film this, I still don't know. But nobody got approval from me to do it. And it was not any, it had nothing to do with that other pilot related thing. These were people who already worked with the city of Detroit. They had a relationship with the city of Detroit before I became chief. And they've been doing 48 Hours. You know, we've all been watching the movies for the last decade. So those were totally different things. And I think that gives some perspective to, you know, to the situation. And I guess I say out of a 40-year career, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But at the end of the day, I mean, I will never be comfortable or forgive the fact that a young child died. I mean, you know, we all have kids, grandkids. I get that. But again, it was, I don't think the flashbang, I think the flashbang was a part of the way they were going to make entry to the house. I don't know. I won't know for sure. But you know, the main thing is that, you know, to me, the use of it was more than was necessary at the time. And maybe if I'd been there for a few more years, maybe I'd have gotten to the point where I would have reviewed the policies and procedures of all of the individual units and may have, you know, taken that out earlier. But unfortunately, you know, in a short period of time, you can't be everywhere and see everything.